Philly sports, love and pain. I'm Dave. That's Kenny.
Had a run-in with Mandango.
Yeah, Kenny's got apparently Kenny has like man junk on the mind. He's like, putting out viral tweets about Nick Sirianni's subs fluids, and
got a little cum on them lips, buddy.
I can't believe that ESP hasn't blocked us yet, to be honest. But hey, we still live.
I will give that rat bastard a little credit. He does not block.
He doesn't, and he doesn't care. Like he just lets it roll, man. I mean,
he's got to turn off those replies, right? Like he's not fucking with that.
No, there's no way.
Nah, you would go fucking mad.
But you know what? He has responded to us before. So
really,
yeah, dude, he has.
That's right.
All right,
the opening hits.
Let's go. So, what has happened? The Phillies are obviously in the playoffs. They are sitting on their bye, awaiting the victor of this Mets. Waiting for the Mets.
Waiting for the fucking Mets. I can't believe it. For 3 straight years, we have to play a fucking NL East team. I'm fucking sick.
Well, it doesn't look good for the Brewers, especially considering the fact that they couldn't even sell out their fucking stadium in home game 1 in the wild card round, which is atrocious. You got about 1,000 or 2,000 Mets fans in Milwaukee. Like,
here's the thing. The MLB is really got Johnny Castle now. So the problem is the MLB has a slight problem, and I don't know why they do this. They don't need to spread the games out. They're not. It doesn't fucking matter. They don't need to go 2-4. What are they at right now? 2-4-7. I don't even know.
What do you mean? It doesn't matter.
Just all the other fucking playoffs all start at the same time, 8:00.
No, they don't.
Just run them. Yeah, all hockey is, or they have 2 slots, and the NFL has 2 slots. Just make it 6 and 8.
No, why?
You can't start. I'm just saying it's impossible for people. You know what I mean?
No, it's not impossible. Are you fucking kidding?
This fucking city is fucked up. There's a difference.
God damn, it's not different. Dude, there's people there from New York that are out there in fucking Milwaukee. They had 1 day notice.
Met anyone from New York, they're fucking pieces of shit.
Listen, dude, all I'm saying is, like, if you can't go to it, okay, if you can't go to the game, then get somebody else to go. It's 2:00. What the fuck? You can't go? You can't take off 1 day? You can't have a call for 1 day?
Actually, I think that it wasn't that game later.
Yes, it was later. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't know what time it was. Central time zone or whatever the fuck. But so the Phillies wait for the Mets to win. Probably. I mean, the Brewers are against the wall now. They got to win tomorrow. They play tomorrow night at 7:30. I think it is. So if the Mets win that, it's over. They're going to come to Philly. We just found out today that the games this weekend, Saturday, they'll play at 4:00, 4:08, whatever, and then Sunday, same thing, 4:08. So forget about watching football. Forget about watching the NFL on Sunday at 4:00. It does not matter. You will be watching the Phillies.
You could quad box it.
No.
What do you mean no?
No. For what?
You could put the 4:00.
You need to quad box and watch the fucking Green Bay Packers versus the Rams while you're trying to watch the Phillies playoff game. Like, what are you talking about?
Is that what the game is?
You got the Raiders, Denver, Cardinals, Niners, Packers, Rams, Giants, Seahawks. Come on, man.
What are we gonna get? Giants, Seahawks?
Come on, dude. You can't do that.
Well, you could double box. I didn't mean quad box. You could double box.
No, you're hurting if you're trying to watch that shit.
I'll just put the Phillies on the big TV and then the football game on the little TV.
So we got to talk about football. We got to talk about baseball. We got to talk about Penn State. We're going to talk about Penn State tonight. Looking forward to that. Rob says Jalen Hurts stinks, and Sirianni is a dipshit. Looking forward to diving into all that. Can't really disagree with Rob right now, is all I can say. But
does Hurts stink because of Sirianni?
Well, I'm looking forward to breaking this down tonight, actually, a little bit, because I have some opinions, and I think that our guests might have some opinions on this too.
Bring them in.
So without further ado, Ron, what's up, brother? Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Look
What's
at
up?
this handsome guy. Look at this guy.
Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. So, what the fuck happened this weekend? What the fuck happened? You're telling me, listen, why were first of all, why were the Eagles the only ones that seemed to not know that it was going to be fucking hot on Sunday?
Why were they favorites?
Why were they favorites? Great question. Great question. But I just, the first problem I had with the whole thing was them just dropping like flies on fucking Sunday in the heat. It's like, all right, dude, it's hot. I didn't see Tampa Bay's team fucking dropping like flies in the heat. So
They're used to it.
What are we doing? They're used to it. Okay.
Yeah, those guys want to know part of that game from the.
That's what it looked. That's what it looked like to me.
They were fucking losers. They went in there thinking they had no shot to win, and that's exactly what happened. 21-0 in the blink of an eye because they're fucking losers.
Yep. The offensive play call. Yep.
Ronnie, so where are you at? Where do you stand on? Let's just dive into it a little bit. Where do you stand on this whole? Like, what's your opinion on this whole Sirianni thing?
I think that. I don't like the guy at all. I really don't like the guy. And both the teams that I love my whole life, I actually despise both their head coaches. Franklin, we'll get into, obviously, and then Sirianni. I think that I said this to my buddies when we were watching the game, and I don't know if it makes any sense, but like he tries too hard to be himself. Like he tries to be this guy who goes for it every single time, who tries to take the 2 points every time, like who just tries to do too much. And then you have a who was in Philly before, and Andy Reid, who takes the points at every opportunity he could takes the points. And like you see the outcomes and how different they are. Like, I don't know. I think he just tries too hard to be himself. And now it's like almost getting to the point where it's stubborn. Like he's trying too hard. And I think it's really backfiring on the guy. Like, I mean, I don't know how the hell in the world the Eagles were favorites on Sunday with absolutely no wide receivers. I mean, Jahan Dotson was our wide receiver one, and he is cooked, man. I mean, Paris Campbell. Like, these guys we got out. We got PC and Jahan Dotson. I mean, no excuse at all, but still.
It's weird to me. It's all, you know what else is weird too with the whole Sirianni thing? I heard this on the radio today, and I actually thought it was interesting. Like, every time that Hurts is ever asked about Sirianni, he never, ever goes out. Even when he gets like a softball question, he never goes out of his way to say anything good about him. Ever.
Because he fucking hates him. He's already said that.
But if that's the case, why the fuck is he here, bro?
Who do you roll with?
My thought is because Jeff was worried about looking like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like the franchise.
Oh, okay. Well, so let's save face and just keep him lame duck fucking coach and fucking roll through another fucking season. They shit their pants at the end of last year, and then they bring him back, even though they know fucking Hurts literally can't stand the fucking guy. It's fucking weird behavior, man. I don't know.
Is that the problem with this team? Is Nick Sirianni? If we change coaches, and like WIP always has this 94-1 all the time. Yeah. Every single day I'm driving home and I hear Bill Belichick's name get brought up. And I'm like, if you were to, like, if that's some people's dream scenario, you fire Sirianni and you bring in Bill Belichick, do you see a difference with the rest of this year and this team? I don't know.
I don't know because then you know what happens. Go ahead.
Because they're not going to go on every fucking fourth down. They're not going to do the fucking. They literally had no wide receivers, like Ronnie said. They had literal shit sticks for wide receiver, and the first fucking 9 plays or 7 out of 9 plays were passes. What are we fucking doing? Dallas Goedert hasn't shown anything but one game in the last fucking 2 years, and we're like, let's put all our eggs in that basket. They're not using Dotson right in any of the fucking schemes. Then what are they doing? He's a slot receiver. They got him running fucking dumbass routes. They're idiots. And then Lama Dingalong over there in the Commanders is absolutely shredding everyone. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe it wasn't Brian Johnson's fault after all.
Apparently not. What the fuck?
I'm gonna
fucking passing game coordinator down there in fucking Commander Town. They got the best offense in the fucking league right now. Second.
That's Cliff. That's Cliff all the way. And I'll die on that hill too. I think
I'm gaslighting. I'm gaslighting on this.
I know.
Is Cliff the assistant head coach? I don't think so.
Well, BJ's definitely got the titles. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
I just don't know. All right. So let's you play that out, right? Even if they did move on from Sirianni, does that really help? I don't know because then we're back to, okay, well, what do we have with Jalen Hurts? What do we have? What do we even have? Because we've had 3 different quarterbacks basically over the past 3 years. And which one is he? I don't fucking know. I think Kenny puts it best. Like, he's definitely not worse than like the top half. He's not like, he's definitely in the top half. So like, you can win with him. No doubt. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He cares. He wants to win. He's got that. So
out of these 4 games, this is the first time in a while, or in these 4 games plus, I can't really remember last year that much, but this was the first game where I was like, okay, this loss is squarely on Hurts, right? They're driving the fucking ball. They're about to fucking make it a 1-score game, and then there's a fucking lineman at your foot. Literally, like, if you can't feel that guy, he's literally breathing on you with his hot Chinese food breath, and they can't fucking feel that guy. And then in Hurts' mind, instead of just throwing it away or shoveling it out of bounds or running it forward for a loss of 3 instead of a fucking strip sack fumble because you're cocking the ball up to fucking Jupiter, how's that make any sense? Makes no fucking sense. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing?
I don't even know what to say. Honestly, I don't know. And I guess like you could go down the rabbit hole of like, okay, well, they have nobody. So like he's trying to make shit happen. And
No.
No. Because how many times can you go down that fucking road, right?
Right.
I don't want to fucking hear it. You still have one of the best running backs in the league and apparently an elite tight end. So make it fucking happen. Fucking 9 plays. They called 9 plays and 7 of them were pass with fucking piss as wide receivers. I don't understand.
Did you hear his explanation on why?
I don't know. Listen to this fucking guy.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear? So like someone asked him like, hey, why you guys didn't have a lot of touches there for Saquon in the beginning? He's like, well, yeah, when you're going 3 and out, not a lot of people get a lot of touches. Dude, are you fucking kidding? That's your explanation? What the fuck?
That's like literally what I say in NCAA when I'm like, why didn't that fucking wide receiver run the Heisman? You know what I mean? Like, it's your job to fucking, and I don't want to hear this shit. Every NFL team schedules, sketches, whatever. They run the first 20 plays. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 20 plays, knowing they had no wide receivers, is fucking pass. It's 3rd and 10. Obviously, you're not gonna fucking run it, Nick.
Yo,
idiot.
You want to have fun? Go listen. This Tatis homer was a fucking moonball, dude.
Again?
No. They're showing like breaking it down. It went higher than the fucking like lights. It was like so fucking high. No, so like I saw Kellen Moore. I saw his press conference today. It's no better than Sirianni. To be honest, it's almost like they have the same note card, and they're up there like I got to put it. We got to do things to put our players into better positions. It starts with me. Obviously we need to get Saquon more touches. Mike Missinelli counted how many times he said obviously in the press conference, like 28 times or something.
Obviously.
You can't make this shit up right now. They are a fucking train wreck, dude. Yep. A train wreck.
Which is crazy because if you look at it, I still am like, they're a playoff team. They're a fucking playoff team. The NFC is so fucking weak. There's only and right, you're right. We're gonna do this and we're gonna watch them get blown the fuck out by some scrubby fucking Tampa Bay team again. And I gotta fucking deal with that. And then all off season, they're gonna sign a big name. We're gonna be like, oh my god, we're so fucking back. We're so fucking back. Tired.
Like, all right, so obviously there's not really much to break down with this game, right? Because they played like shit. They looked like shit. Everybody was fucking getting cramps and fucking puking and whatever. Fucking Juergens was out. I mean, how many linemen? There was like 3 linemen that were out basically at one point. The D line had like no press. It was rough, dude. It was rough.
Jalen Carter was out of the game, I think, within about 2 drives. He said, I'm done with this. He doesn't want anything to do with this.
Ray was fucking dead, dude.
10 degrees. He was done. He didn't want any parts of that.
This is the first time in a while, like, because Jay came over and we watched the Penn State game, and I said to him, I think I like college football again, like more so than the NFL. And it's not even fucking close. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the point now, and this might be crazy.
It's really not. Honestly, it's not.
Ask me next week, and then ask me every week moving forward. I think that if she's like, hey, we have to do this at a Penn State time, and she's my wife, if she's like, we got to do this apple picking bullshit at Penn State or at Eagles time, I think I'm gonna go do it during the Eagles game right now.
That's
like, I'd rather watch.
It's an interesting way to put things, right? Because you got,
you know what I mean?
Obviously, like when you're family time, right? You got to like pick and choose your battles, right? And it's interesting. It's actually interesting because the Eagles are like they're borderline unwatchable.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy to fucking say that? And even after Brazil, we were like, what the fucking fuck? And then after Atlanta, we're like, what the fucking fuck? And then who was next? I don't even remember. That's how bad the season's been. Who was next?
New Orleans.
Yeah, and then we're like, this is the greatest team I've ever fucking seen. Whoa!
They're back.
They're back. The defense. They played. Look at this defense. They're so good. And then they get worked by Baker Mayfield.
And then I still haven't beat Avonte Maddox. Avonte Maddox trying to big hit Chris Godwin. That dude's a fucking statue. What are we doing?
He fucking tried to hit stick him.
20 missed tackles, boys. 20 missed. You can't win a game with 5 missed tackles, let alone 20. And what's that say about the Bucks? Are they even that good then? Because like the Eagles were in that game the whole time.
Well, it's okay.
Didn't the Bucks lose to
they got blown out by the fucking
Broncos?
Yeah, the Broncos. Yep. That's what I'm saying. The NFC is so fucking weak. It's so weak. Who is it? The Lions?
The Lions. I mean, I wouldn't even put the 49ers in that conversation right now.
No, I put Seattle and the 49ers. I think those are your 2 fucking horses.
I mean, you're kind of forgetting about the Vikings, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
No one's forgetting about the motherfucking Vikings.
You've been shitting on the Vikings all fucking year. They're 4-0.
Okay, and Sam Darnold's gonna turn back into a motherfucking pumpkin. He fucking stinks.
Not when he's throwing to Justin Jefferson. Dude, did you see the catches he's making? It's fucking stupid.
What about the
bad balls?
No, Ronnie brings up a good point. Commanders.
Yeah, but do you really like with gun to your head, season on the line, Commanders in the Super Bowl? You trust that? I don't.
No way.
It's a first round exit.
You might win the division though.
They could.
Yeah.
Right now, I think they're what are they? They're tied with the Cowboys. I think last time I looked at the odds, they were tied with the Cowboys at like plus 250.
It was the Eagles' favorite. Cowboys, Commanders were the same, and then the Giants. Which I thought the Giants looked pretty good. I thought Daniel Jones was slinging that fucking thing.
Yeah, but you again, gone to your head. You're gonna trust them to win the division.
No, that's my point. Like you're not fucking trusting any of these fucking guys. That's my
Jalen
argument.
Milroe is gonna look good in the New York Giants uniform next year.
Oh,
you think?
Yeah.
Here's the problem. The Giants could be a 500 team, which lands you 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, he's going top 5.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. He looks so good.
He might go number 1 because that game on Saturday might have been a top 3 game I've ever watched in my life.
I don't want any more Jalen's on my fucking team.
That game was incredible. That game was insane.
And that's why college is the best. And that I think that wide receiver goes 1. I think he is so. Actually, he can't go out, right?
No, he's a freshman. He has to stay there 2 more years,
at least,
till his junior year. Yeah.
Yeah, but is it like different too? Because he's like 12.
No, I don't think age has anything to do with it.
12.
He's someone I'm interested. Well, the Eagles really don't have a need for him, but he can change a franchise. He's like Calvin Johnson, change a franchise. Although you get stuck on these fucking teams, and then you retire after a decade because you're like, fuck this losing.
Talk for a minute. I got a tickle in my throat. It's fucking killing me.
Oh, Lex Luthor.
I got a question for you guys. Just going back to the Eagles thing because it's been something that's been on my mind too. What do you guys think about Darius Slay? What do you think about all this antic stuff with?
First off, Ronnie, his name is fucking Slay, so please don't call him Darius. I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to come around on like absolutely.
Wait, hold on. You're coming around. Coming around from where? Like, what? Coming around to what?
Because I've been defending him, you know that, and I'm coming around to the side where I'm just like, the fucking Christ are you doing, bro?
I'm curious to see what side Ronnie's on. I don't even really know, but I think he's just got to be quiet a little bit. Just be quiet.
I think that like chopping it up with Micah Parsons about like what was it about exactly again? It was like
CJ was talking all that shit. Yeah.
Or CJ talking shit. Like,
and then missing the tackle for a touchdown.
How do you go on any type of like podcast or talk show or anything about that with a guy who you literally like have to go to war with every Sunday or every game day, whatever it is, and expect that guy to have your back? Like at that point, like, and CJ, you know him, he's running his mouth every chance he could possibly get on the field. Like, but for him to do that to CJ, I don't know. And like, again, like they're grown-ups, they're grown men. So some things might bother them, some might not. But on the outside looking in, it doesn't look good with Slay. Like, and then he's tweeting about somebody's corner locking down the Bucks corner, locking down the Eagles wide receivers or whatever. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that wasn't a good look. He'll be gone. Here's the thing. Two things.
I hate it, to be honest. Like, I think that it's bad leadership, honestly, from Sirianni's perspective. If you you have no control over your guys. You don't see Bryce Harper out here fucking tweeting at like Arcia and shit. Like, dude, like the fact that these guys, and it only happens with, do you ever notice it only happens pretty much with NFL dudes? Little bit in the NBA, a little bit in the NBA.
Yes. But what about, why is Devin White still on the football team? Devin White was literally tweeted out about Levante David, who plays on the Buccaneers, about a sack that he had against the Eagles. Like, what are we
during the game
doing here? Like, trade the guy or get rid of him?
I have no idea what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there. Kenny thought he was going to be a stud. Kenny thought he was going to be a fucking game changer.
I thought he was going to be a game changer too, and he's not playing.
And let's be honest, Nakobe Dean missed about 17 of those 20 fucking tackles. The dude can't fucking tackle. I'm sorry. Like, he might be able to read it, maybe read O. I don't fucking know. I don't know what he does. I mean, he's always seems to be around the ball, but he's always seems to be whiffing. Yeah. So I wanted to touch on the Slay thing. Is that like, do I care that he was on a podcast with Michael Parsons? I've been thinking about this all day, and I think I'm leaning towards no. I don't really fucking care. It's 2024. This is the way it's going to go now moving forward. You saw the Braves. You saw the Mets. They were chumming it up on the fucking field after they both clinched. That's not a problem. And enough I read was just like, and it makes sense to me. Like, fans hate the Cowboys. Those players don't give a fuck. Unless it's like, you know, like Brian Dawkins hated playing the fucking Cowboys. Right? You know what I mean? Like those, like, but it's a whole new generation, a whole new weak fucking woke bullshit that's happening in the NFL, and it's fine. It doesn't really matter. But you cannot go on there and talk shit about someone that has your back. Literally, Johnson, you know what I mean? CJGJ's job is to protect Slay, you know what I mean, on the on any case scenario. If I'm CJGJ and I see Slay about to get burnt, I'm gonna run the wrong route. What the fuck do I care? Fuck you. You want to talk shit on me? I'm running the opposite way, bud. And you know in the NFL, you can be like, well, I thought, you know what I mean? I thought there wasn't protection on the slot guy. It don't, you know what I mean? It can look as blatant as he wants it to look. What are they going to do? Fine him? Oh, boo fucking who? You know?
No, I hear what you're saying. Like I don't really care that they go on each other's shows and shit like that. Like I think that's whatever, right?
I don't care about that.
Yeah, but like you just gotta. There's certain things you don't talk about, especially when you are an NFL veteran who's been around for a long time. As he lets us know immediately after the game, he's tweeting out his fucking
what a fucking puss. That's a punk ass
stats. Like
move.
that's another move, dude. Like you don't do it. You don't fucking do that shit.
Was he not the one that fucking stared Kirk Cousins in the fucking eyeballs while Drake London went left, right behind his fucking back? And he's just like, Kirk Cousins might fucking run here. The dude's got no fucking, his Achilles are like fucking chicken wings.
And then after the game, but after the game, he said that was a great route.
It wasn't. It fucking wasn't. They do that shit in Cannoneers football. What are we fucking talking about? He fucking literally, it's so embarrassing. That's probably the most egregious thing Slay has done. Gary, whatever the fuck his name is. You cannot.
Don't let Jay catch you calling him Slay.
Yeah, right. Dude, London literally made a left foot plant to the inside, and Slay went like this.
He gronked him.
That was what Slay did, and then he did this. He did that, passing it off like that was gonna fucking help. Fucking dumbass.
Oh my god, I don't know what to say about this team. It's like I've been feeling this for a long time, and I've been kind of saying it, and I feel like I've been like I don't like being that guy. I don't like being negative. Like I always look for the positive, like in all the time, right? But this team hasn't. No matter who is in charge, no matter who's running shit, no matter who's on the field, things haven't changed. And I feel like I hate to even say this right now, but I feel like they got lucky in 2022.
Absolutely. And you said it best. We get a new coach. They fucking light the world on fire, right?
Chip Kelly. It's Chip Kelly 2.0 is what it is.
It's Chip Jelly all over again. Who
just completely different, but
I forgot that fucking little bitch is on Ohio State, so it gives me even more of a reason to fucking.
I know, right?
I need that win so bad. I need that win more than I need any other win.
Well, we need that. We need that.
Can't believe that's the big noon game of the week and not a fucking whiteout.
I know. Yeah.
Well, you know why.
I know.
Money.
But then you heard what James Franklin's doing, right? Which I kind of think is cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't give that guy praise at all because I think he's a fucking idiot. But he's basically making every night game a whiteout. He's basically telling the fans to wear white and just making a fucking whiteout unofficially because he's right. What are we doing?
That might be the best.
Now we have a whiteout against Washington who's like 3-3 and have no fucking players. Like, what a waste.
Great.
No, I totally agree, but that might be the only thing that James Franklin's ever done right. Ever. So
here's the problem. Penn State every 5 fucking years will get an elite D coordinator and an elite O coordinator that mesh really fucking well together, right? And I think Arnold's figuring that shit out. You know what I mean? It's going to get better as we go on. And then it's just like Nick Sirianni, though, because people are just going to offer, like Mercy Hurst is going to offer one of them a fucking, the head coach job, and they're going to leave, and then we're going to promote some other fucking dumbass, and then we're going to go through the cycle. It's every 5 years. And then Penn State's going to extend James Franklin for another fucking 20 years, and then I got to watch him again and again and again.
He's the worst ever.
He really is the worst, dude. I don't know. I feel like we're transitioning into Penn State, which I'm totally cool with. Because fuck the Eagles are on a bye week. Like, let's just put that shit to bed. I just think with Penn State, right? So again, we have Penn State, we have James Franklin, who is a game manager coach, doesn't call plays on either side of the ball. Is rah-rahing the dudes down on the sideline or yelling at people for missing assignments, whatever. But how involved is he in some of this ticky-tack stuff, right? Because the dude, what's his last name? Kotelnicki or some shit?
Kotelnicki or something like that.
Kotelnicki?
Yeah, something like that.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
The offensive coordinator.
Oh, just call him Kansas.
Kansas. Big Kansas. I'll call him Big Kansas. Okay. So Big Kansas is he calling every play? Because if Big Kansas
fucking James Franklin has no offensive fucking bone in his body.
Hold on a second.
He's better off to just fucking be like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then when it fails, the OC gets the credit. And then when it works, he goes, I hired him. This was my great hire.
Well, listen, I have a problem with the way things are trending with Big Kansas then, if that's the case. Because I love the dude is being aggressive, and I love that he is like, they have new wrinkles and they're not fucking running jet sweeps every other fucking play. I love that, right? But, dude, you could have seen it if you were blind on Saturday, that all they needed to do was run the ball. That's all they needed to do. The whole game. Mm-hmm. They couldn't stop it. Yeah, they're averaging 8 yards.
That's not his MO.
I don't give a fuck what his MO is. This is my point. If you're James Franklin, if you're going to do anything, go, yo, bro. We have two running backs that they can't even fucking touch right now.
Dave, to go off your point about like how much does Franklin have involvement with the offense, I think that tells you all that you really need to know by the fact that they weren't just running the ball. Because if there's anything that we learned over the past 5 offensive coordinators we've gone through in the last 5 years, is that all we've done in the most predictable situations is be predictable. Right. First down, run, no yards. Second down, throw, incomplete pass. 3rd and 10, throw, incomplete pass.
Yeah, 100%. But
so to go off Kenny's point, maybe it is all the OC calling his game.
And like, I'm sitting here talking shit. They had 200 between the two of them. They had over 200 yards. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad game, but
yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah, just like in certain situations, like it's like 3rd and 2. Like, what do you do? What are we doing here? You know, like, I don't know.
You gotta wrinkle it. You gotta wrinkle. You gotta throw little wrinkles in there. I mean, at some point, how much more rushing yards do you really fucking need to be like over the top to a greedy level, right?
No. That's not. All I'm saying is that they let them hang around too long. They are head and shoulders better than Illinois.
Penn State's been doing for fucking 30 years. They let everyone hang around. This is what they do, especially under the Franklin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I was probably a little too young for Joe Pa. I mean, I think he died in 2012. Is that right? Roughly ish.
I don't remember one.
I think it might have been right around there, a little earlier maybe.
Anyway, I'm like 22. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really appreciate like now we're in the meat and potatoes of fucking James Franklin, where we're like, holy fucking shit, how do you keep losing to fucking Iowa? I think you guys, and I don't mean this as like negative, and I think I do this too a lot, but I think a lot of fans think that if the head coach isn't the OC, and we do this maybe with Nick, I don't know, that one's still up to debate. I think we give those guys too much credit and too much influence on certain things. So I don't know how much that's true. Like, I often think about like the Super Bowl play with Nick and Doug, where like Doug didn't call that. That wasn't Doug. That was fucking Nick, right? So like, I don't know how much a non-playing head coach interferes. Now I'm sure they do, right? Like everyone else, right? Everyone's got an ego. Well, I just don't know when it is.
It's just like you're the head coach. Like, what the fuck is your job then? You're literally like, you're the manager. You are the manager of the coordinators. If I tell you,
what does that mean? Does he call the plays, or does he go on the mic and go, "Hey, we're running it, or we're passing it way too much. I need to see some rushes," right? Like, what is the level of involvement? Now, if he's saying you're rushing too much or you're passing too much, I want the opposite. That's like, that to me feels like within bounds of head coaching. If it's 4th and 1 and Kellen Moore's telling the fucking play and Nick's like, no, we're going to do this play that worked last year. So like, that to me is the problem. So I feel like this is such a major gray line of like, what does a head coach that doesn't call plays do? I don't know. Besides walk in with 4 seniors in the beginning of the game and look absolutely ridiculous with his stupid head that matches his khaki pants. Okay? That's what he does.
I'll tell you what, this defense is no joke, dude. They've given up 9 points in the second half.
It's incredible how bad they look in the first quarter. They get like they tweak the nipple just enough to be like, okay, something's gonna happen in the second, and then halftime they get fucking chewed out, and then they're like the greatest defense to ever play for the fucking sport. I don't get it.
Yep.
It's gonna bite them when they play like in Ohio State, or thank God we don't have Michigan this year. Although we probably want Michigan this fucking year, of course. You know, but
this might be the year to like play Michigan. You know, like they're not like.
They need to clean that up. You can beat the 22nd ranked Illinois. You can beat the fucking, these other fucking teams like that. But when you play like the real teams, which we only have 2,
they'll get
right?
the test. They'll get the test against USC. But I watched a good amount of that USC game, and they don't look that good either.
They're pedestrian. They're pedestrian. I said it.
Pedestrian's a little aggressive, I think. They're like 11.
Bro, that O line is absolute. Or I'm sorry, our D line is absolutely going to eat that O line.
They're not ready. They're not built. They haven't had enough time to build their program to be ready for Big Ten football.
I think that is spot on.
Pac-12 is all about fucking speed and just fucking and this is more like
Big Ten football is running it. We're running the ball. I mean, besides Ohio State, but it's going to be behind the offensive line and the D line. That's where you're winning ball games.
Well, just think about the weather difference. If you just look at weather alone, that's what you have to build your conference for. Now you could almost argue that USC has to catch up, to get to a running first kind of method, and then like the Big Ten teams can kind of peel back the other way, right? They don't need as many because you're going to get some sunny games and shit in the middle of December.
Well, Wisconsin.
Imagine if you're Penn State and you got to play at USC on like the week before Christmas. Like you're fucking giddy as shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're fucking out of that weather. You're in Southern California, like probably the best weather in the whole entire United States. Sign me up.
Wisconsin shot themselves in the foot in that game, and they were running all over USC, all over them, and they just fucked up. They gave up some touchdowns and they got scared and they stopped doing what they do. And kudos to USC for taking them out of their game, but USC's not. I mean, USC lost to Michigan. I don't think wasn't that the game where Michigan's quarterback had like 40 yards or something?
Yep. They can't throw. If you get them in third and long, the games they can't win. Like they have no quarterback that can get the ball to anybody.
It's crazy, right? Like last week.
That's why Portnoy wants to pay $3 million a year and NIL to get them the best quarterback in the nation.
I mean, it's not a bad move, right?
It'd probably be one of the best teams in the nation again if they had a quarterback.
I mean, that's the kind of shit though that's going to start happening. Like it's actually going to happen, and like it's going to change. It's going to change football. They're going to have to lock it down before it happens because you can't have dudes like Portnoy or like anybody, whoever.
Why? Like, it's within the realm of the NIL.
Well, no, you can't have that. Is what I'm saying. Like it's going to change the game.
What are you going to do? You're going to say, okay, limit the amount of donation per person. He'll just give it to fucking Big Cat and whoever else he's got on the team, and they'll make just microtransactions of money to make it happen.
No, there's no way to. You think they're going to money launder it so they get the guy the money? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But what does it Bitcoin him? What does it matter though?
No. All I'm saying is like they got to like limit the fucking NIL shit. They got to limit it. They got to put a cap on it.
How?
I don't fucking know. They decided to turn it on. You got to fucking cap it.
I don't think you can. That's like the whole point of all this is like saying that like the whole people will go to these big market schools to get the fucking money, man. If you're a fucking 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and they're like, Dave Portnoy's going to give you $3 million to go be the quarterback of Michigan, you're going to fucking go. It doesn't matter. Even if you scaled it down, if you're like, okay, here's the tiers, and the most you can do is, $1 million. They're still going to go to Michigan if it's $1 million when, I don't know, Tulane's offering $500,000, or which would be incredible if Tulane could find that money. But, there's just it doesn't matter. You cap it. There's ways around it is all I'm trying to say. What they need to do is they need to close the fucking red shirt portal thing that's happening. You play one snap, you're done. You got to play for that team.
Yeah, so what happened this weekend? Something happened with a guy, right? Where he
I know exactly what you're going to say. UNLV's quarterback.
Yeah.
And then the running back said it. And then there was another. So then the quarterback did it. The running back did it. Same team. And then another guy, the leading guy for one of the defensives for one of the big schools did it. They can't let that happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to get fixed.
I think you can't have. Here's my thing. I think you can't have the NIL and the portal all at the same time. You got to pick one. Because
What,
the
you
portal
mean like at the end of the season, or do you mean like during the season?
I just mean the portal. The portal should be for off season only. First of all,
Agreed.
Second of all, there should be requirements for the portal because, like, how do you recruit? How do you recruit a team? How do you get a guy who's gonna like you, who you're gonna even develop, that you're gonna teach the way you want him to play? You're not even doing that now.
Well, and that's what Nick Saban said. That's why he said he was out of college football, was because he's like, I'm sick of this shit's weird. You know what I mean?
That's where Dabo's trending. I mean, look at Clemson. He refuses to go into the portal, and he wants to try and stick it out with the guys that he recruited. And look at the success he's having over the last 3 or 4 years.
That's like that. You know, like that's like saying you're going to street race a Lamborghini and you're showing up in a fucking Geo Prism. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're just setting your program back, which means they're going to fire you and get someone that will conform. Like, this is how it works. God's not going to help you, Debo. Okay.
I just don't know. I don't know if it's
Dabo, whatever his fucking dumbass name is. Fucking Southern bullshit.
I don't know if it's good. I love college football. And we started this conversations by talking about how great college football is. But don't you think that NIL deals will change that? Like to that level where Dave Portnoy is literally recruiting, a 5-star QB from fucking, Plant City to fuck.
Why does an NIL deal change that? Like after, I mean, yes, of course, they're getting a great kid to go there and play quarterback, whatever, if that were to be the situation. But how does it change the game?
Because where's the limit? Right, I know, but where's the limit?
But I feel like if you have a limit or you're asking what the limit is, they've been doing this for years. They just never gotten caught. So now it's legal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Back then they're giving them cell phones and fucking buying them a fucking.
But that's my,
gold
chain. You just fed my point to a platter. It doesn't fucking matter if these teams want them, they'll get them. Whether there's cap restrictions or money restrictions or whatever the deal is, they'll get these fucking guys. It doesn't make a difference. That's my whole point, is that it doesn't matter if you cap it. The NIL is not the major issue here. It's the transfer portal, the red shirt. You can red shirt yourself after 4 games. Think about that. 4 games is a fucking quarter of a football season. It's too long.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe 1 game, right? Like maybe you're not in a good position. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't like living in fucking Wisconsin or Nebraska or playing for Deion Sanders. So maybe you got to find the level here. But 4 games is insane. I mean,
so you think an uncapped, unlimited NIL where public individuals are coming in and, well, I guess he's a company owner, so I guess whatever. Now they're saying that kid was tipping his pitches. Sorry, I just got sidetracked like major.
Okay.
The dude that was pitching for the Braves.
Come on, what are we doing? What's the score?
3-0.
It's 3-0.
Oh wait, are you saying like tipping his pitches because of how he's pitching, or tipping them on purpose?
No, like he was, like his arm angle was different in the glove.
Okay, that's. I thought you were talking about the fucking catcher over there. And
no.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, come on, we're stretching here now at this point. If that's what you're talking about. The pitcher absolutely was.
To get back to the college football thing, just to revisit that Alabama and Georgia game, just because it was fucking awesome. That touchdown that Ryan Williams scored when he went up the sideline, spun, whatever, late, like after they blew the lead. Everybody probably thought that they were going to lose the game. Everybody in the crowd definitely did. And then they come out and they just throw a bomb right away. And they scored that touchdown right in front of all of their recruits. All of Alabama's recruits, they scored a touchdown right in front of them. Like, and just seeing those kids' reaction to them scoring and the stadium lights flickering on and off Like, again, it just goes back to our point. Like, college football is just fucking awesome. And NIL is just it's an extra for these kids. Like, and I don't think that it's affected the sport to the point, like, where I can't, I thought that was Homer. And I don't think it's affected the sport all the way as much as I initially thought it was going to be, because in the beginning, I thought it was really going to, like, completely ruin college football, and I wasn't going to be able to watch it. The kids were just going to be playing for the money. But after seeing, like, a moment like that, I still feel like these kids are doing it, like, obviously to go to whatever. They all want to go to the NFL, capable of doing that. But it still shows me that, like, they want to be a part of the program, the school, and the atmosphere and everything like that. And like, and add on.
Well, and Sanders was always going to go wherever his dad was coaching, right? So, like, there's shit that's like, yeah, he's making like $5 million fucking dollars, and he's playing for his dad. That shit was always going to fucking happen, whether it was $5 million, $20 million, or $0 million. It was never not going to happen.
Well, and the other thing too is that if you think about it, like, if the money's the money, fine, okay. If you let go of the NIL thing, right? Like, that means that if their guy's good enough, then the other teams are going to get the good players too. Like, the talent is still going to be spread out. At least, like, right now we have, like, basically 2 super conferences, maybe 3, right? And so at least, like, those 3 conferences will pretty much always be loaded with guys. That's basically the way it would probably shake out anyway, I guess. It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same as it is now, I guess. But I don't know. I also feel like, and I don't know how they would do this, but I also feel like they should probably limit. Jay brought this up too before. I feel like they should limit, like, the amount of 5 stars you could, like, snag. I mean, it's fucked up. It's weird, right? But
so you, like, have a 5-star. If you have a 5-star recruit and his dad played at Penn State and they filled up their fucking 10 5-stars, you're gonna say nah. Or what they'll do is they'll just regrade them. They'll be like, you're a 4-star now.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, how do you, like, where does the grading come in? I don't even know.
Or they put a cap on how much money they could spend as a university collectively on your 5-star pool. Like, for how many kids you bring in for your 5 stars, you have X amount of money to do NIL. And I'm just throwing an idea out there. If that's the route that they were to go down, then that's potentially something that they would have to come to a crossroads with.
Because, like, now you're not even like talking about, like, you're literally going to have salary caps. You're going to need salary caps for fucking college football, because
I don't think it's going to get to that point. I mean, I don't,
how would let's just pick a school. How would fucking Arkansas ever win?
Well, it's funny that you just said that, because
I know he's trying to collect money from the fucking people. I know.
Listen, if you had buku bucks and a lot of those fucking elitists down in these, like, anywhere, like, look at any state, there are people in there that have way more money than they could even fucking imagine. Oh, pay us $1,000 a year. Okay. You get a couple fucking, you get 20, 30, 40, 50 people. You could do some motion with that ocean,
I was actually going to bring that up. Yeah, I was going to bring up the fact that they were asking for money from their fucking.
If you had expendable money, you would do it, right? Like, if you had money where you had so much money, it didn't fucking matter. And Penn State was like, "Hey, can you give us $5,000 a year?" I would fucking do it.
Where, like, 1,000 was $1? Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, it's not like they're not going to be asking the fucking, people that have no fucking money, but they're going to go after the people that, like, Josh Shapiro is a great example. He'll give money because he's fucking rich and he went to Penn State. I made that up, but it's just a scenario in my mind.
Yeah, but then what are you going to do when Pitt comes knocking? And what are you going to do when Temple comes knocking?
Well, Temple? Don't you have some murders to deal with or something?
Well, did you see that bit? Did you see that video the other day?
Yeah, listen, they got a hell of a kicker. They got one hell of a kicker on that team.
Who is it?
I don't know. He was 1 yard shy of breaking the NCAA longest kick.
When's he going to enter the?
Meanwhile, Penn State can't get a guy who can kick a fucking 30-yarder.
That dude's got to be done. I'd rather send out the 6'6", 280-pound Joey Julius.
Hey, he's going through some things. Okay?
Oh, is he? What does that mean?
He's eating his emotions.
Maybe he needs some NIL deal with, like, a pizza place or something.
No, the kicker's a sham. That's like Sam Ficken.
He was pretty good his last year, though, for us, though.
That's what, and it was crazy, right? Like, because everyone was like, "Fuck this guy."
He
But
turned it around
like,
his last year. He's big.
He was like one of the best kickers in Penn State history, percentage-wise, at the end there.
Well, that's like what everybody says about like Clifford. Like everybody was so done with Clifford.
Don't bring his fucking name up in this.
Don't tell me you're a Clifford hater.
What was that?
Are you a hater on him? You don't like
Listen,
the guy?
I'm a hater where I think they just gave him that last year because his name was Sean Clifford. He was fine, but he didn't never move the needle. I don't know. Am I a hater? I feel like I'm a hater, but I feel like he didn't do anything that was worthwhile.
Well, I mean, they didn't win anything, but it doesn't surprise anybody. Look at who he had coaching them. But I mean,
yeah,
I think
I know that.
Again, if we want to talk statistics, I'm pretty sure that he might have and again, I know he played for 25 years at Penn State, but he does have the most passing yards. And I think that when it comes down to attempts too, I don't think it's that far off from the next guy there. I think him and Trace are up there for some of the best quarterbacks there, but they both.
Trace at least gave you some like really fun fucking football.
They got really fun. Out of going to a national championship.
Exactly. So I'll always ride with Trace that home run, that celebration it warmed my heart. Just the fucking best, man. God, that team was so fun. What was that? 16 Fry?
Yes,
that was the 16th time.
Yeah. Yep.
Saquon,
really?
Gesicki, Chris Godwin.
Really, oh, that was a nasty.
Saeed Blacknall.
Yes.
Some guys.
Wasn't Brisker on that team too? I think that was maybe. No. He's too. I mean, that would have been like Cam Rising, 19 years in college football.
No, but it was definitely Saquon, and it was definitely Robinson, right? Andre, like Robinson. Robinson was on that team, right?
Who? Allen?
Yeah, because he got out with Christian Hackenberg.
No, yeah, so no. Godwin was there for sure.
Saeed Blacknall was the number 2 or number 3 receiver. I remember.
Gesicki, was he there?
He was our tight end.
McGovern.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I think Marcus Allen was on the D, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
because I was at that whiteout game that year where they blocked the kick against Ohio State.
Was that Sean Lee?
No.
That was
years before.
Is Sean Lee that old?
A couple years older. He might have been like a senior when McSorley was a.
Dave, pull up the roster.
What, the 2016?
Yeah, I gotta know. I want to know who the linebackers were because I'm a little. They had to have someone. Oh, Lukta, was he on that team?
No.
No.
All
right, I got it here.
Was the guy on the Lions who was like a fullback? Like was Jesse Paqueta? Was that him? Like 2016?
Yeah. He's on the Cardinals now. I don't know if he was on that team though.
I'm shooting out names here. I could be.
All right, so they had Saquon Barkley and Miles Sanders.
Yep.
was on the team.
Second guy sucked.
Trace, obviously. Godwin, Deshaun Hamilton.
Okay.
Mike Gesicki, and DeAndre Tompkins were the big wideouts, and they had Blacknall, who was like the fourth option basically.
He was a stud at 4.
Marcus Allen led the team in tackles, but he was a safety. Brandon Bell, linebacker. Kabinda.
Yeah, that's what I was Jason Kabinda. Yeah,
Jason Kabinda. So Kabinda and Bell were the linebackers, were the middle linebackers.
Who wore 11? Kabinda?
I don't remember.
Kabinda was like 40.
No, wasn't he 40?
Yeah.
Well, isn't the 11? The 11's like the guy that's like Penn State's like.
I think that Micah might have brought that back. Obviously, besides LeVar, but I don't think that there were.
What's his face is doing it right now? Carter.
Yeah, I think Bell wore 11. I think he did.
Yuck.
Let me see. Brandon Bell. Yeah, he did. He wore 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think they've been doing this 11 thing for my whole life.
I don't know if I ever keyed in on that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh yeah. It's a big. I mean, I've heard it 105 times on the broadcast, especially when old fuckface Todd Blackridge or whatever his name is comes back down.
I love when you try to name people. I love it. It's like the best ever.
Well, I'm partly on the spectrum, so it is what you get and you don't get upset.
Well, like, all right. So I'm just going to look back.
Wait,
When-
what is his name? What is his last name? Todd what?
Blackledge.
Isn't it Blackledge?
Black
And what did I
Ledge.
say?
You said
Blackledge.
Black Ridge, I think, with an
Oh, I'm
R.
fucking close. It's close
You were,
enough.
yeah, you were pretty close. That's pretty
That
close.
guy, every time they shoot him at a fucking Penn State game, he's eating ice cream. It just infuriates me. We get it. The creamery is there. We understand. There's 1,005 fucking ice cream stands in Pennsylvania that make their own fucking ice cream. Can we relax?
Yeah.
You ever hear of Freddie Farms? Have you? How about a little Mary Mead? I got
Something
cider that's a mile away.
Something that happened at the Penn State game that I saw on like social media. I forget which one it was on, which app. It was a dude. I guess there's a trend going around where like people are trying to stay in places as late as they possibly can before the last person.
I saw this guy. Yeah, I saw this guy.
Guy did it after the game at Penn State on Saturday night, and it was really fucking cool. Like he's just up in the press box, like the last guy in there. All the lights are off. Like it's actually kind of creepy.
Yeah, he's been so that dude. I've seen the same dude. I've seen the same dude doing it. I don't know if there's more people doing it, but he was like sick actually in this one. But he's done it like at a bunch of different events. He did it at a Phillies game once, but he got kicked out like pretty much like 30 minutes after the game or something. He got kicked out. But yeah, he was in there until they turned everything off. Like that's fucking wild, dude.
It was pretty wild. I was pretty surprised that nobody just saw the freaking guy. And then he ended up walking out the employee exit. He walked on the field. He was on the field after the game.
Yeah, how does that happen, dude?
What?
So Penn State's got a bye.
Dude, we're on double bye,
right?
No. Don't we play at UCLA this week? Or is that next week?
No, they have home. They're home against UCLA.
And then it's USC, right? That USC game is at 3:30, by the way. That was announced today as well.
Yes, that was announced. So they are home this weekend against UCLA, and they are
big noon kickoff. Am I gonna have to listen to Gus Johnson have an aneurysm over a fucking 20-yard field goal?
Yeah, of course you are. He's gonna be hype about being inside the Beaver though.
Oh yeah.
Who is it?
28 point favorites.
Yeah. And we were 20-point favorites against Illinois, which was stealing if you were betting on Illinois. Man.
I know.
That wasn't even close from the beginning of the game.
Well, if he makes all his kicks, it covers. Just saying.
Does he?
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess he missed 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, he missed 3 kicks. You're right.
I know.
Wait, what did they win the game? What was the final score? Wasn't it 21-7?
21-7, yeah.
So it would have been
technically they would have lost. They were 20.5-point favorites.
20 and a half, yeah. But regardless, they have a kicking problem, and it's an issue.
Neither here nor there.
They do have a kicking problem. It's a little bit of an issue. And I was looking at the schedule for next week, the college football schedule. It's kind of light actually next week. There's not a lot of. You got Georgia, Auburn, but that's not what it used to be.
Auburn stinks.
Iowa, Ohio State.
They always play them hard. Where's that game?
I know, but that should not be. It's in Ohio State, so that's a factor.
That's a blowout.
That's the wheels are coming off of Iowa.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really any like Michigan State, Oregon. Like that's not a game. That's a blowout. Clemson, Florida State. Clemson might win that by fucking 4 touchdowns.
Talk about a disgrace of a team.
Are you talking about this weekend, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, like this weekend coming up.
Yeah, because it's all paving way for the greatest day of all time, October 12th.
October 12th, when Penn State will play USC, and what are the other big ones that day?
Ohio State, Oregon,
Tennessee. Yes. So Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and then Tennessee's playing.
Tennessee's playing Florida.
Oh.
Yeah, which I guess isn't as cool as it could be.
Yeah, it could have been cooler.
If that's the only sucker, though, that's not bad.
Mississippi State, Georgia, which Mississippi State's a trash can this year. So
they stink.
Yeah, that's Mississippi.
They
Ole Miss,
good since Dak.
Ole Miss, LSU. That's a good one.
I don't even want to get. Don't even say Ole Miss. They made me sick to my stomach this past week.
They do this every time. And then did you hear what Lane said at the end of the game?
What was that?
He was like basically was just like, that's the most out of character thing Bob Stoops has ever done his whole entire life. Because I guess they went for it on some weird 4th down play or something. But
in Kentucky,
I don't know. College is way more exciting this year. You know what? The NFL has a running back problem where I feel like these running backs are all, and I'm totally just reaching on this. I feel like they're all in cahoots to get more money with like coaching staffs and shit. So that's why rushing touchdowns are up and wide receiver touchdowns are down. And like, let's be honest. Do you guys want to watch a running back run it in, or do you want to watch a fucking 75-yard pass to Jameson Williams? You know what I mean? Streaking down the Lions. You know what I mean? That was a fucking pretty ball too. Jared Goff might be elite, and I don't want to say that.
No, I'm on that fence with you. I think I'm ready to be on there.
18
I mean,
for
he's got
18.
everything. He's got everything around him. Great offensive line, great running backs, good wide
And their
receivers.
D's decent.
Yeah. With
Should I,
the Maniac as a head coach.
Kenny? Should I go back to last week's podcast and find the clip of you saying that the Detroit's poo? Should I get that for you? Because you said it multiple times. Detroit's poo. They're poo.
I know. Do you trust them? Do you trust Jared Goff in the Super Bowl?
I kind of think I might.
I know. I'm trending. I'm trending.
Yeah, I kind of think I might, and mostly because of what he's got around him. You know, like.
Well,
Laporta's a baller. Gibbs is a baller. Amon-Ra's a baller.
Can the Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
What Dan Campbell is coaching? Is it the Dan Campbell that goes for it on 4th, or the Dan Campbell that swallows his nuts in the second half?
Smelling salts, Dan Campbell.
They can win if they play a little bit aggressive. That's how you beat Kansas City. You got to play aggressive. You can't settle for field goals.
That defense for Kansas City, when it comes down to it, is really, really. Spagnuolo has those guys freaking dialed in.
I know, and I forget who I was arguing with. They were like,
I know, and it sucks. Doesn't it suck?
Spagnuolo will leave. He's never gonna fucking leave because he failed as a head coach. He's got a cushy fucking job. And you know what's so funny to me is that where's Bellenemy? Where's he at? Is he in the league?
I don't know. The last I knew, he was on the Commanders, but
he's gone.
I don't know where he's at.
What? Fuck you, Fry. I don't got fucking patience for you.
No, I'm just looking. I'm trying to look something up. The Chiefs have only given up 1 touchdown in the second half this year.
Fuck. Cameron Brink's engaged.
Oh, you're out, Kenny. You know, just close up shop, buddy.
We were supposed to hang out.
Oh, well, I thought you were gonna call the Cavender twins.
Ew, they're fucking. I don't get it.
No, you don't get it.
They're like every Lansdale fucking crack whore.
Oh my. All right, I'm gonna put that clip up. That's the one I'm putting up right there.
I don't give a shit. They're nothing special. They're like honestly, they're like every other blonde chick that's in college.
Okay.
Cons.
I'm not going. You can tell that we're getting near the end of the podcast because this is when it happens right here. Kenny, did you already hit that? Did you already hit that pen or what? Did you already do that?
I didn't even get my medicine in yet.
My medicine, yo. So, all right, Ronnie. What do you think about Penn State this year? Before we let you go, what do you think? What's the ceiling? Like, all right, let's be honest, right? Like, are they going to beat Ohio State?
No.
Right, and I kind of think that too. I kind of think it's a no, but
I think it's impossible. No. If the game was a whiteout at 8:00 at night, I would say I really do think they could beat them. I think that the atmosphere is just.
Are we at the Beeve?
What was that, Ken? What'd you say?
The game's at the Beeve.
Yeah, it's at the Beeve. It's the big noon game of the week. Got screwed out of a night game against them. Thanks to Fox.
It's all about money.
Yep. So if the game was at night, I'd say that I think that my answer would be different. That we would beat Ohio State in that atmosphere. But I don't think after watching us semi-struggle stopping Illinois initially, like once Ohio
but
State figures that out,
that's the MO, man.
I understand that, but I think that was Illinois. And
and that's how I feel too. Like Ohio State will hang 28 on that defense in the first half.
Letting up a first drive touchdown to them will be much worse to Ohio State. But like to your point, Kenny, you said earlier, Penn State always plays to their competition. If they're playing somebody who they're lesser than, they play down.
Yep.
But generally, in the last couple of times that we played Ohio State, it hasn't been 30, 40-point games. If you look past, we've lost, but it's been real damn close almost every time.
This is the year they get it done.
You think so?
I'm optimistic. I'm in on being optimistic, but
yeah,
I think the college football playoff is the greatest thing that could ever happen to James Franklin. He'll never, ever leave. He will retire as the head coach here because he's going to make the playoff every year because he can lose 2 games and make the playoffs as long as they're the 2 top 10 ranked teams. He'll make the playoffs every year, especially when they expand it to 16 teams or whatever they're going to do there. He'll always be in it. So, I mean, they're going to make the college football playoff probably at 11-1. And then they'll probably have to play somebody from the SEC. And who knows? If you get matched up with the Tennessee, you might get boat raced. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think it's interesting. So, Kenny, you think they're going to run the table?
No, they'll find a way to lose some fuckery game. I think the expectation should be a playoff win, and then that would probably be about it.
I would love to see Penn State get one playoff win. Obviously, I would love to see them win all of their playoff games, but if they win one, I'll be impressed.
As we're talking about this, it's kind of now I'm starting to really think that does Penn State fall into my realm of like, are they a successful team? Because they don't win it, right? They fuck it up along the way, but they're consistently good. Right? So like it could fall into my rant last week, and now it's really fucking breaking my brain.
But I will say, and this is where I'll remain optimistic, is that we haven't been in the foxhole with the OC and the DC that we have right now in a big battle against a team with like Ohio State. So again, struggled a little bit against Illinois here and there, had its moments, but when we're playing up and we need to play the game, we need to win the big game. Like we'll see what we have, and then from there, then we'll be able to make our assumptions on where the team's going to go and everything like that. But until you play USC on the road or Ohio State, I'm not really sure how much we're going to be able to have an educated guess on what this team is.
And I will say with the new OC, that Bowling Green game feels like an old Penn State loss, like the last 5 years, right? That feels like a fucking loss that Penn State would do. So I don't know. It's interesting. I agree. It is. You can't really put a label on the team yet because who have we played? I don't know. That's how I feel. I agree with Ronnie 100%. Like. They got to go to USC. They got to get it done there. And if they don't get it done there, then you have no excuse. You have to beat Ohio State. Yep. You know what I mean? They need to be a 1-loss team or 0-loss team. 0-loss team, we all know that's not going to happen. But a 1-loss team
was undefeated when you go to play USC. If they were undefeated and you lose to them and you closely lose to both them and Ohio State, then you're on the outside looking in. But and
I still think if you have 2 losses, you can probably still be top 12, right? I mean, I don't think there's a world where you're not.
It's so tough now with the SEC, I feel.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good teams.
5 teams that are probably going to make it from the SEC. And then you have to
put
winners.
Is anyone going to beat Texas? Like, I don't think there's a team that can beat Texas.
I don't know, man.
That is
they are disgusting
program.
They're much better with Quinn Ewers, though. Arch is not ready. Quinn Ewers is way better than Arch Manning.
He says he's not ready as he went like 18 for 20, 325 yards, 5 touchdowns and a pick.
Not this past week, was it?
Yeah, really. I'll find the numbers, but
tell me what the team name was that they played.
Yeah, I'll let you know because I don't remember.
I think it might have been like a Division II ball team.
It was a shitty team. I know that it's all coming back to me.
Wait, this past week was he lighting it up this past weekend?
I thought he struggled this past week.
So did I.
Okay. A week before he lit it up, where he had the long touchdown run and shit.
It's all coming back.
Oh, they played Mississippi State, man.
It's all coming back. There were flashes of light, and there were fire.
I mean, he threw for 324.
26 for 31, 324 yards, 2 tutties, 1 rushing touchdown. QB rating of 193. I hear you. I think he could lead that team. But Ewers is special. Ewers is really special.
Yeah.
So I you can't go. You got to go back to Ewers. I mean, you pretty much promised the dude the team. You know what I mean? And he didn't go in the draft.
Yeah. They'll go back to him when he's healthy.
All right, listen. So maybe Ronnie, maybe we need to bring you back like when Penn State season's coming like a little down to the wire. Maybe we would get closer to playoff time.
After we lose to Ohio State.
After we lose to Ohio State. But we got to talk about the Phillies.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Phillies. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about what is your temperature? Like Kenny, we kind of talked about it, right? And we kind of talked about this, and you're kind of like just excited to like just have a ride of baseball. Yeah.
Yeah. Comfortably
Is that where you still are?
Uncomfortable. You talking to me?
Yes, you.
Comfortably uncomfortable, which is where I live. Right? Like I'm comfortable, but I'm also fucking terrified of playing the Braves and the Mets. And everyone makes fun of me for this. They scare the shit out of me because laws of averages, man. You know what I mean? Like if we play the Braves, we have to lose at some point, right? Like you have to lose. And it would be so funny if the roles were reversed and we lost after a fucking bye. I think it would be the funniest thing ever, man. I really, truly do.
Yeah, but it won't. But like even if they did lose to the Braves in the playoffs, it won't be after the bye. Yeah. So that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I look at it this way, and this is a little bit gloomy, but if they don't make it to the World Series this year, make it to the World Series. If they don't win it, I mean, okay, but
that's just Philly, baby.
If they don't make it to the World Series this year, I think we have a problem. Because if after the last 2 years they don't have like a fire to,
do it,
break through this whatever bullshit thing that they have where they like hit the wall and they all stop hitting and whatever, if they can't break through that this year, I think we have a problem. And I think that we might see some drastic changes. Yeah.
I'm also kind of tired of talking shit on Nick Castellanos. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, the guy's fucking been hitting lights out since in September. I mean, yeah, like I don't know how you can talk shit on him right now.
Remember everyone wanted to fire Kevin Long during that month stretch.
I mean, how many times has Kevin Long people wanting to be fired Kevin Long? Like this year, he's probably like every month, right?
He's more hated than Tobias Harris. You see me tweeting at Tobias Harris?
Yeah. Why did that crumble cookie tweet come back up in our feed?
What do you mean?
It's funny that you're talking about this because I don't know, one of us tweeted something about a crumble cookie and it like is coming back up in our feed. Like people are finding it again and liking it. Like, I don't know why.
Oh yeah. Wait, are you talking about like an old crumble cookie tweet or one from yesterday when I fired it off?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's new. I didn't know you put it on. We get into arguments, Ronnie. It's funny shit. We get into arguments with people on Twitter, and we don't know who's going to respond. So sometimes we respond twice. So we probably look so like it probably looks so dumb sometimes.
Someone was like, "Oh, nice double reply, you fucking stupid fuck," and I was like, "Damn it, he got us. He burned us."
I don't know. I'm excited for the Phils, man. I think I would rather than play the Brewers because I just think the Mets. I was looking at the numbers. The Mets are fucking hot right now, man. They are.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're hitting like 330, I think, with runners in scoring, and that was before today. So after today, it's probably even higher than that. So they're hot, and I don't know. I don't know if we want to see the Mets, but
you're
looking like
It's going to be I think it's going to be Mets and us, and then it's going to be Padres, Dodgers, and those are both going to be really good series. I don't know. I feel uneasy because I'm so used to playing tonight and playing in this game like the last 2 years, and I've loved the way that we've gained momentum to be able to beat the Braves both those times I think it was, in the second round in the NLDS.
Yep.
So it's a little different. I feel like I love the idea of what they're doing tomorrow. I would love to see some like videos of how real it actually looks and how competitive those guys are playing against one another to get that real feel of a game. There's nothing that obviously comes close to the atmosphere of the bank on a NLDS night, but I mean, we'll see what we have. It's going to be about the pitching. It's going to be about like, I'm not confident all the way because of the way that we played coming into the end of the season, like necessarily, except for the last game of the year. I kind of feel like after we clinched our playoff spot, everything was just like, they were like, fuck it. We just want the playoffs to start kind of, but that's not how shit works. Like the teams that are hot, stay hot. And then you kind of get your dick kicked in and then you got to respond. So we'll see. Throw out Wheeler on the first night. Hopefully he gives us a gem and we can get off a first win on that first game. That's going to be a huge one.
I think that's about it. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. You kind of just got to like lean on your horses and just fucking just go. Here we go. But it is pretty cool though that they're doing an inter squad game against each other. And I saw Dombo talking and he was like, he didn't say it, but like they're betting on the game and shit. Like they're betting, like they're betting sides.
Are they bringing up pig players?
I don't know. I don't know if they're filled. They got to be, right?
It, right?
I think they got to be. I know Turnbull's pitching one of the sides.
Is he gonna? Is he'll make the roster, right?
I don't know.
I put him in there over Taiwan.
So would I. Yeah.
Well, I put
that dude should
a cum stain in over him. I fucking hate Walker.
So what's your rotation into the playoffs? Last part about the Phillies before we go. Is it Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, or is it where does Chris Sanchez? Does he come out of the bullpen?
No, Sanchez has to pitch over Ranger. Ranger in the bullpen.
Really?
Absolutely.
Dude, Ranger has been stone cold the last 2 years for the playoffs.
Show me what he's done the last 3 months.
I agree with you.
You're not going to it's not just because it says playoffs on the screen. He's going to fucking turn into a fucking transformer and be the best pitcher.
No, I get that. But the last 2 years, he was better than Aaron Nola, and they still threw Nola out before Ranger.
Kenny, let me ask you something. If it's like this is the worst case scenario, probably. They lose. This won't happen. Most likely won't happen. But say they lose the first 2 games, and you're going away, right? And you're playing for your life, and you got the choice between Ranger and Sanchez. You're going Sanchez.
100% money. Everything I have, I'm going Sanchez. Absolutely. You guys are hoping that some magic's gonna come back and he's gonna figure it the fuck out. Guys, he's a terrible pitcher right now. I don't think he's a bad pitcher in general. I think he's a very good pitcher. I think his hand injury is far worse than he's leading us all on to believe, and it's impacted him because if you look at the numbers, it's very clear beforehand, afterhand. No fucking way I am bringing Ranger Suarez out there. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Honestly, I'm almost leaning, and I don't think they would do this because I think Nola has better splits at home, but I would almost lean to go Wheeler, Sanchez, Nola. But
you've been talking about that for 3-4 years now.
I know.
You're a big fan of putting Nola and Wheeler a game apart to kind of cushion your blow a little bit.
Exactly.
Now, if you lose the first game, you're put Nola in, right? Probably more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, if Wheeler goes out and you lose like 2-1 or some shit, then I think you got to throw Nola. I do, yeah. But I think if you win that game, you let Sanchez go.
I agree.
I like that, and then you come back, and now Sanchez is solid, dude. Like he's good,
and also he'd be home. He'd have that home atmosphere behind him. That helps those type of guys out.
Well, are you guys talking 5-game series or 7 too? Because that matters, right?
Well,
because
the DS is 5.
Yeah, so like you can get away with a 3-man rotation, assuming everything goes your way. Agreed.
You're saying they wouldn't. You're saying they wouldn't need Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
what
could.
I'm hoping for. But then moving forward,
Right.
now
So if that happens, right, then Wheeler pitches twice. If they win it in 4, then if Wheeler pitches twice, then that means in the CS you'd have Nola starting it. I guess.
I think it
Yeah,
all
'cause
depends on how you start out the first 2 games at home. Like if
Yeah.
you split, I think it totally changes up what your rotation looks like, right? Or if you lose, but like it totally changes.
I agree with that.
So are they okay? So let's just say they get past the Mets or the Brewers. So it's now the finals. Fuck it, it's the World Series. I don't fucking care. What are they doing? Is it 4 pitchers? Right, they got to go 4 pitchers. Agreed.
Yes. It would be 4
So
pitchers.
who is it? Like who is
Well,
the
it's those
4th
4
starter?
guys. It's those 4 guys. It's going to
You
be
think? Like
Yeah.
what if? I'm torn, bro.
Kenny, you're crazy.
Sanchez
Listen,
Ranger game could be both of those guys in the same day. I think that you tell them that.
I'm just
whoever-
so
or it could be that,
terrified.
or it could be you could even do Ranger and Banks, like a combo. Turnbull if he's in the bullpen.
Yeah, you turn it into almost like a semi bullpen game.
Yeah.
You tell Ranger, we're going to
just-
ride you until it's good, until it's not good anymore, and then we're going to go to the pen.
My eyes are rarely wrong when I see large sample sizes like we've seen of Ranger. He is not the same pitcher he was before the hand injury, and he is pitched exactly like who I think is hurting from a hand injury. I just don't see it in a world where
So you don't think that they're going to give him a start?
I don't fucking know. They probably will, and it'll be very short. I don't think you're starting Ranger Suarez over Christopher Sanchez in any scenario. I think it's got to be Sanchez every fucking time. Every time. I don't know how you take that away from the kid who is absolutely thrown a gem of a season. Guys, you know how many people would literally would love to have a Sanchez when he's our 3rd, 4th starter?
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking nuts. He could be. He's not a 1. There's no way. But he could be a 2 on some of these really shitty fucking teams.
With the year he's having, for sure.
I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying that you need to use Ranger. Kenny, did you mute your mic?
My eyes tell me that Ranger for this season is a lesser, I don't even know what I want to say, lesser pitcher. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like he's tired. It's the most innings he's thrown. He's got the hand. His command is butt cheeks. He's just throwing fucking sliders right down the fucking middle. You know what I mean? He's walking dudes. Pitches are getting away. I don't know. And even like on groundouts, he's lost his swagger. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that. I'm the fucking guy. I'm the best defending, defensive pitcher in the league. Like,
All right,
I don't see
okay.
any of that.
All right, but put it this way. What's better? Like Ranger, which is what we have right now, or Turnbull?
And that's the thing. We
The
just
deciding World Series game.
He's just coming off an injury.
You can't. Turnbull's not going to be.
You can't. If you're saying it's a deciding World Series game, then you're telling me that they got swept, right? Because
Well, no. All right. If it's Game 4 of the World Series and they're down 2-1,
You throw Wheeler again.
that's like I'm panicking myself. It's almost like I know you guys.
okay. But if you throw Wheeler again, then Game 5, it's going to have to be Ranger. Like you're not going to be able to avoid Ranger. Like you're not going to. He's going to pitch.
Well, what was the rotation when they went into? Did they lose a D-back series in 7 last year?
Yeah,
It was 7, right? They lost Game 6 and 7 at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
What was the rotation like then? Wasn't it? Well, mind you, Ranger was Ranger last year, right? In the playoffs.
It was just Ranger and Sanchez switched.
So Sanchez was out of the pen and Ranger was the guy. So it was
Sanchez
Wheeler.
was the 4th starter, right?
He was their
definitely
4.
the 4th starter.
So Sanchez started in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, so it was a 4-man rotation. It was Wheeler, Nola, Ranger, Sanchez. And then this year, I guess you roll the same thing. You flip Sanchez, Ranger. I don't think you can pitch Ranger especially if they're down 0-2. Oh man, it's so many scenarios where like you're playing in your brain. I don't know. I just don't see I don't see Ranger as the pitcher he was. I just don't. I don't think it's close.
No, I don't either. I'm not saying I'm not saying that he is the pitcher that he was. I'm
I mean,
saying
he
that
looks like Walker.
I'm saying you're not going. No, come on. I'm saying you're not going to. I'm saying you're not going to avoid it. He is going to pitch.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm saying maybe you let him just go through the lineup once. Let him pitch 3 innings and then bring in like fucking Turnbull or a long guy, whoever, Banks. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like. But I don't think you could let Ranger go through the lineup twice. I don't think you can. Not right now.
When do they release the roster?
We should see it. We should see it probably Thursday.
So probably no, and they can't bring anyone up, right? Like who's here is here. Agreed.
Whoever's on the 40. So
is Stevenson on the 40?
I would rather Weston Wilson make it than Stevenson.
No, I'm with you 100%. I think we were talking about Wilson last year. Like we were like, fuck that guy. He doesn't deserve to be on the playoffs. We fucking see him in the playoffs. We're fucking rioting. And this year we're like, give me him off the bench.
I didn't want him last year. I didn't like him. He was not as good last year. Yeah.
He could smoke the ball. He can hit the ball now.
Yeah, he's a pretty good hitter. I'm trying to find the active 40. Oh, here it is. All right, so the active 40 is, let's see who's on there. Let me get through the pitchers. Buddy Kennedy is on there.
Yeah, and didn't Topper say that was a move to fill the last game of the year, right? That's what he said.
I know, but he's on the 40. So Buddy Kennedy's on there. Somebody just hit another homer. Yeah. Kennedy's on there. Hayes is on there. Clemens, Weston Wilson, Stevenson, and Marchand.
So how long is Hayes' leash? Do they give him a whole postseason to go 0 for 24? Do they give him a whole like? When do they pull him out and go fuck?
Well, I don't think he's going to play much.
No, they're going to play Marsh. They're going to play Marsh for the most part, and they're going to play Rojas, and they're going to play Castellanos.
I think that what I was reading, they were trying to run that lineup of Hayes in left, Marsh in center, and then later in the
Rojas?
game, and then later in the game, that defensive substitution, for Hayes, and then Marsh goes to the left.
With that would probably be when you go up against a lefty. Probably.
I was going to say if it's a lefty,
throwing a lefty, then they might throw Hayes out there on left and keep Rojas out in center.
Yes, because you don't want Marsh in the lineup starting against a lefty.
Well, but in the alley will tell me I do.
Yeah, well, in the alley,
he's seeing the ball better.
In the alley got his fucking Twitter handle deleted. So all right. So Red October is upon us, and we are chomping at the bit. I think you guys are right. I think that the Padres are going to handle the Braves. I mean, the Braves are fucking limping anyway,
Yeah.
I would love to see the Brewers come back. We
got the Mets, buddy.
I don't know, man.
It's booked. Let me tell you.
Wouldn't it be great though to watch the Brewers come back and then they go to New York and they fucking take their lives in New York?
They don't go to New York.
Oh, that's right. It's 3 away. That's right.
It's 3 away. Like if you're the better team,
you're right. I forgot about that rule. I don't know.
I love it because I think it's too much. You can't do that. And what would be more meaningful, having 2 games or having the 3rd game at home?
Yeah, no, I completely actually agree. And I forgot about the wild card setup. And because they added that wild card, that was the give, right? Like, so the give was, all right, we're going to have a 3-game wild card series, but it's like a regular series. You're going to play 3 games at this place, that's fine.
Yeah, it's. I think it's much better. I honestly, I don't. I'm going to say something pretty bold here. Eagles Super Bowl or Phillies World Series. I think I'm leaning World Series. You can pick one. I think I want a World Series.
Oh, I mean, but here's the problem with that though. You got one more recently, so like you're kind of recency biased, I think, on this.
No, I just think baseball's been a lot of fun since it's been back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize what I've missed and how much I do love fucking baseball.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this 1,000,005 times, but like, bad baseball is just that. It's unfucking watchable.
And even when it was bad, I was watching it.
I know, which is fucking, you hate yourself apparently, but like,
yeah,
I find it, I guess, you know, I'm romantic about baseball.
How can you not be?
I'll be.
How can you not be?
Sunday for the game.
What
Like,
was that?
it's so much. Like, just the last 2 years ago when we went to the World Series, like, and us being back in the playoffs and we go on that fucking run, like, it was a feeling of like I felt like I've never been a part of something so fun in my life. Like watching this team and watching like just everything's in it. Like all the 10 years of fucking being the worst team in baseball. And like now it's like the bank is rocking, like all the emotions are into it. And like it's just there's no place like it in baseball. There's no feeling, no team was as bad as us. Like it's an awesome feeling, and that's the most fun that my buddies and I have had like in a long fucking time, like around any
It's 7 games of fucking fun.
Yep.
The Super Bowl is 1 fucking game, and that game, like you lose it, you lose. Like you know, there's no fucking another game. You know what I mean? Like that shit hurts.
Yeah.
Baseball's at least fun, man.
It is. I agree with you there, Kenny.
Listen, you're not gonna get any argument out of me. I fucking love baseball. So
yeah.
All right. Well, Phillies on Saturday. Let's go. Penn State should get another win on Saturday. I think we'll be good there. Next podcast, Kenny, we'll be already two games in on the NLDS, I think. Yep. So we'll have an idea of what's going on next week. But Ronnie, thanks for joining us tonight, man. It was good. It was good times hanging out.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Absolutely, and we'll have you back for sure later on in the season, in the Penn State season, and yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
Yeah, dude. Later.
See you
later.
So, Kenny, to wrap it up with a little bow, I think that let's just go back on the Eagles real quick before we close this off. I think the Eagles have multiple problems. Because I don't think it's one guy. I think Nick. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I think I am leaning more toward trusting Nick than trusting Jalen.
It sucks, doesn't it? Because you don't want to.
No,
you know that you're a psycho for fucking thinking it.
I know, I do, and I feel that way. But like,
I saw enough of Hurts last year to know. But honestly, the answer is to get rid of both of them.
The answer is to
at the end of the day.
The answer is to sleep on it.
It's always to sleep on it.
All right, listen, we'll be back next week. Thanks for hanging. It's good as always. Kenny, this time, Kenny and I promise we will actually tweet out picks this weekend. I keep forgetting. I had a good weekend too, man. I had a good weekend. I had some good good wins. All right. We will see y'all next week. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Good night. Very nice.
Very nice.